I'm running through the headlines this morning, and it just, you know, shouldn't say that it surprises me. The Houthis say they're going to block the strait to the Red Sea, and if they do that, that would shut off Saudi Arabia because those large oil tankers they can't go through the Suez Canal; they're too big. They have to go south in and around Africa to get to Europe, or go south to go through the Indian Ocean to get to Asia. So with the Houthis, it's not easy to dislodge them. There are some mountains right there in Yemen. They could easily shut that down. Uh, Now, tactically, that's a whole can of worms. There's a bit of a history there where the U.S. Navy actually used a lot of munitions. It actually did take a lot of them out, but it's a proxy of Iran. They're going to try to shut this down. And again, it's just this whole thing is insanity. The United States is not in the position to prosecute this war. We don't have the long range weapons. We don't have the ground troops that would be necessary to actually do what they claim that they want to do, get rid of Iran's nuclear program, to secure the straits so that traffic can go through there. You would have to secure that whole area. Basically, you have to occupy these areas completely and secure them to make that happen. We don't have the ability. We don't have the manufacturing base. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the financial situation, because that's another thing that could very well blow up in our faces right now with the way bond yields are. We're in a really, really tough spot right now. And what needed to be focused on was America first. We needed to bring manufacturing back to the United States. We needed to deregulate. Trump talked about doing this, but we're not really doing any of this stuff right now. That there was an attempt to be made. Trump's first term tried to do this too, but we're nowhere near where we need to be, and we're in a lot of trouble right now. Okay, so with oil prices going up, with that putting a strain on the global economy and supply chain steps, with the developing food crisis that is going to hit a lot of the third world, and now we're going to have a huge migrant crisis because of this, we are in a really, really bad spot. And is it that nobody's bringing this news to Trump because he wants to live in his own little bubble? Is it because Netanyahu has that much control over him? These are all things I've heard from people that are close to the White House, but it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine that Netanyahu would have that much control over the United States. Policymakers in the United States have to look at this and say, this is not good for the country. Are they deliberately trying to destroy the United States? Are they deliberately trying to do their Agenda 2030? Are they making people poor on purpose? That's another thing that is worth asking. This is going to collapse the global economy if this continues. They're not going to meet their objectives. We don't have the capacity to meet those objectives. So the solution is to look at this as a loss, as it is, and walk away from it. There are some losses you just walk away from. I've done it personally, okay? I put myself in really stupid situations in the past, but as soon as I evaluate what's going on, I know when to walk away from it. Can Trump do the same thing? So far, he hasn't done that. It's not good. You got to use your head. You have to look at it and say, okay, whether or not something is working. And like I said, there are times you just walk away from things. I have some really serious doubts with Trump. Now, I supported Trump for a long time. I voted for him in the general election 3 times. But I'm very, very concerned here. And I just wish that somebody would get to him and talk some sense to say, this is what's really going on. You need to have a connection to reality. And basically, you need to walk away from this. I don't think anybody's capable of doing that, unfortunately.